How y'all doing? That wasn't good enough. How y'all doing? That's a whole lot better. It is so good to be with you. So good to have you out here. This is the best place to be on a Friday night, is right here at the Vineyard tonight. So many of you asked me, how was Maine? If you were here last weekend, you know they showed a picture of my wife and I in Maine. Everybody asked me, how was Maine? So I'll tell you this, Maine was cold. Last night we were there, it was 45 degrees. You did this, and you could see I was making clouds. But let me tell you what happened in Maine, just very briefly, because I think it's important that you know what happened. We were not there on vacation. We were there because we are one of 32 couples in leadership in the Vineyard USA national movement, my wife and I. Our national director, Phil Strout, invited all 32 couples and to come to Maine, to Portland, Maine, for one reason: to invest in our marriage. And let me be clear, this was not a honeymoon time. We had to write in notebooks for 10 minutes with a prompt, with a question. Write about it. We split up. I wrote about the same question. She wrote about the same question for 10 minutes. Then we met in our rooms. We exchanged notebooks. We read what each other wrote. And then we talked about it for 10 minutes. Over and over and over and over again. Question after question after question after question. All those questions you never really want to talk about in your marriage. You know the questions you kind of skip over? Those are the ones you're forced to talk about for 48 hours. I want you to know now that all 32 couples are divorced. Here's what I want you to know. It started out very awkward for all of us, but it ended with a vow renewal. Oh, it was so nice. But we didn't know that. We didn't know anything. We just were invited to come to Maine. That's all they told us. That's all they told us. And what you don't know probably is that 32 years ago, my wife and I honeymooned in Maine, in Portland, Maine. So for us to do a vow renewal 32 years later in Portland, Maine was very cool. And but what the reason I'm telling you all this is so A, you don't ask me again, but B, to this, you're part of a movement of vineyard churches in the United States, about 600 churches strong. And that our national leader would say it is important that our marriages of our leaders stay strong, because if those marriages deteriorate, everything deteriorates. Families deteriorate, churches deteriorate. The ministries they oversee deteriorates. And I just think it's so cool to be part of a movement that cares that much about that's going to bring all 32 national couples together at one place at one time to say we're going to invest in your marriage. So come on, let's hear it for the Vineyard National Movement. I think it's so cool. So glad you are here as part of the dream. You know, it's hard to believe. Personally, I've been at this now for 25 years here leading this church. In fact, this month, our church, Miami Vineyard Church, celebrates officially 30 years of being a church this month. Happy anniversary. 30 years, which means I was here when I was 5. So, I was greeting out front here, many of you on your way in tonight, and I was talking with someone, and you know, it's just amazing what God has done. When you consider starting out with 9 people in a living room, in somebody's living room, just with a dream, that maybe we could reach one person, and maybe we could reach one person more, and maybe we could reach one person more. Never in my wildest imagination did I think that we would get to where we are today. Just the incredible things that God has done in those 30 years. Lives changed, marriages changed, people healed, so many people healed, so many couples that were told they couldn't have babies are having babies. Tomorrow night we have baby dedications. We're dedicating 25 babies tomorrow night. 25 babies. I'll never forget this one couple that came back in our old place, and they said, Pastor Kevin, can you pray for us? We've tried everything, doctors, everything. We just can't seem to get pregnant. I said, sure, I'll pray for you. I prayed for them. She was pregnant with twins. They came to me after the twins were born. They said, Pastor Kevin, you prayed too hard. But I'm telling you, it's so many stories of God doing incredible things. And so much has happened just in 2018 alone. Just 2018 alone, a couple milestones. This past Easter weekend in 2018, we hit officially over 5,000 people on Easter weekend that came to this place on Easter weekend. Incredible. I mean, just if you'd have told me back in the day that we'd have 5,000 people Easter weekend, I would have told you what you've been smoking. And when listen, I want you to know, when we saw 5,000 and we just blew by it, we had 5,003 people here Easter weekend. And we counted pregnant ladies twice. And so just some milestones, right? Milestones from this past year. Vineyard Wednesdays are cranking, and you can cheer. Come on, you can cheer. We got a brand new pastoral care team. We have kids and youth are rocking it. We had our first ever satellite service via video on Mother's Day weekend at Agape Women's Center in South Dade. That's a big milestone. We've got a brand new church in Haiti. And the Miami Dolphins are 3-0. I mean, who knew? It's a miracle. And let me tell you, if they beat New England on Sunday at New England, if they win that game, Jesus is coming back. I'm telling you, that's going to happen. I'm telling you. Last year, if you were here last year, you got a shirt that looked very similar to this, only the date was changed, and the back is changed. This back is different than last year's. Last year back, if you remember last year, what did it say last year in the back? 10, 10, 10, okay? Help me remember, what does 10, 10, 10 mean? 10,000 people in 10 campuses over the next 10 years. Good. That's the goal. We set out that goal last year. 10,000 people in 10 campuses over the next 10 years. So I want to report into you, where are we with 10, 10, 10? Because it can make a nice, inspirational speech, but where are we with that? So let me tell you where we are with that. We're making a little progress on 10, 10, 10. So 10 campuses, 10,000 people, 10 campuses, 10 years. We already have our first campus. It's in Haiti. It's in Haiti. We didn't know it was going to be in Haiti. It was an accidental campus, but we'll take it. We'll take it. God's on the move. So that's one. Here's two. This second one's in the works. I told you on Mother's Day we had a video service at Agape Women's Center, live worship, campus pastor. I was on video, but it was a service, just like here, just like I'm live, but I was on video. We have a team, and we have plans in place to start that at that Agape Women's Center, happening every Sunday sometime soon. So that's going to be a campus. That's our second campus. That's two. Here's three, right? Here's three. This is just the first year, so we got 10 years to pull this off. Here's three. We in the works. This is in the works. We're in the dream stage, but it's past dreaming. There's actual things happening. It's an online campus. An online campus. Now, an online campus is different from Facebook Live, because different from Facebook Live is you can watch us on Facebook Live, but you can't interact. An online campus is there's going to be a pastor actually engaged with everybody online through chat, talking back and forth, actually having conversations, just like you text somebody online during that service. You can have it whenever you want it, whatever time you want it. Next service begins at this time. People log in, people log on, people talk back and forth. You got the worship, you got the message, you got people talking back and forth. And I'm telling you, the sky's the limit with what might happen with an online campus. So that's in the works. That's number 3. So 1, 2, 3. We don't have all 10, but I got 4 and 5. Here's 4. again, 4 and 5 are both in the thinking process, but here's 4 and 5. 4 and 5 is an actual campus like this in 4 and 5, one in Homestead, one in West Kendall. Just like this. And so we're working on that with, people and things and locations and places, all this kind of stuff. So I don't know. When I leave the stage, don't say, when's that going to happen? We don't have the when yet. But we're on our way. Okay, we're on our way. There is movement with 10-10-10, and we're very excited about that. I wanted to pass it on to you. I'll let you know the progress on that. So tonight, this weekend, I want to let you know a little bit about the dream. The dream you're a part of. The dream you're a part of. You're involved in something now that's been happening for 30 years. But I want to let you know the dream. I told you it started with 9 people. My wife and I were 2 of those 9, so it was really 7 people, then my wife and I made 9. We were volunteers, just like you. I was a school teacher. My wife was a school teacher. I taught in public school. She taught in private school. I was at Mays Middle School. She was at Westminster Christian High School. We were volunteers just like you. We were part of Team Vineyard. Now, you want to see a t-shirt we had back in the day? Yeah. I wish I had one. We were too poor to have t-shirts back in the day. We don't have any shirts because nobody had any shirts back in the day. We were too poor to get t-shirts. But from the very beginning, this church had a dream. Dream. It has become our mission statement. Some of you might know our mission statement, right? Loving all people into a growing relationship with Jesus. That's the dream. That's our dream. Loving all people into a growing relationship with Jesus. That if people could really understand how much God loves them, that he wants what's best for them, that he's not mad at them, that he wants to forgive them and be in a relationship with them. If people could really get that, really understand that, their lives are going to change. Just like your lives have changed and my life has changed because Jesus Christ changes lives. That's the dream. That's the mission from the very beginning. But mission statements just don't happen. They just don't happen. It takes people believing in the mission and sacrificing for the mission and doing whatever it takes for the sake of the mission. And so we believed it. We just believed it. We just believed it. My passion at my age of 35 has not changed. I am still as passionate today as I was. Let's see, we found the vineyard when we were probably 24, 5-ish. I was so passionate back then. I am still passionate right now with reaching people with Jesus because we did, and listen, back in the day, we did whatever it took. We were sold out for the mission, and we believed and we would do whatever it took to reach people for Jesus. And so 9 became 39, became 59 people, and we would move around to different locations. Most of us, as I mentioned, were young. I mean, out of those 59 people, a vast majority were in their 20s and 30s. I mean, we were young. We were one big echo group. And but there was energy, there was passion, there was enthusiasm, and there was a belief that there's nothing too hard for God. Nothing. And you know what? When I look at this room today, I see the same thing. Now I see a lot of people older than 20 and 30, but there is an energy. And there is a passion, and there is a belief in this room that nothing is too hard for God. Amen. That this church has not arrived. We've just begun. Because there's 3-4 million, 5 million people in Miami-Dade County that God wants to reach with his life-changing message. And so we didn't know it back in the day. Back in the day, we didn't know anything. We were just doing it. Whatever it took, wherever I'm needed. Whatever it took, wherever I'm needed. We just did it. We didn't have a language for it. We have a mission statement now. We didn't have a mission statement. We just did it. But now we have a mission statement which says what we're doing. But what we were doing back in the day, we were establishing a culture. A culture. You know what a culture is? A culture is a behavior pattern of a group of people. That's a culture. And we were establishing a culture back in the day. That the culture is what's printed on the back of every one of your shirts. Say with me, Whatever it takes, wherever I'm needed. Let's say it together, right? Whatever it takes, wherever I'm needed. If you can't remember that, just read it off the person next to you. Whatever it takes, wherever I'm needed. That's the culture. That's what we didn't, we didn't say, hey, tell the person next to you whatever it takes. No, we just did it. We didn't even give it language. It's not like we didn't even give it this language. We just were it. Whatever it takes, wherever I'm needed. Whatever it takes, wherever I'm needed. And so that culture was birthed in us back from the very beginning, no different than what's happened here today. Whatever it takes, wherever I'm needed. Whatever it takes, wherever I'm needed. We were committed to the dream. We were committed to the mission. No different than what I'm seeing today. Now, back in the day, we met at Southwest High School. Anybody here attend Southwest High School? I see a couple of hands. Okay, quite a few hands. Can I just tell you something about Southwest High School? That school was built back in Jesus' day. That's an old school. We were there, let me tell you, when we were there, it looked its age. I mean, it was, I don't know how to say this nicely, but, that school needed a serious coat of paint. It needed a lot. It needed a lot. But we went in there every week because it had an auditorium that we could meet in, and we would turn that thing around. And so that's where we met. That's where this church really kind of became this dream of 9 people began to take feet, and we grew to like 300 people in Southwest High, and it was a dream, and we had a dream. The same volunteer teams we have today, we had back in the day. So next few minutes, I'm just going to call out our volunteer teams. So when I call out your team, make some noise, okay? So let me start with the greeters. Any greeters in the house tonight? Can I just tell you, greeters, you are way more than a smiling face and a shaking hand. We forget what it's like to come to church for the first time. But when you enter a church for the first time, you are scared, you are freaking out, you're wondering what's going to happen to me, what are they going to do to me? And when you see a smiling face and a hand extended, you have no idea what that does to somebody to calm their nerves and invite them in. You are the front line greeters. And you are, yeah. Come on, let's hear for the greeters. Come on. Now, back in the day, we had greeters. They didn't have fancy purple shirts because I told you why. We couldn't afford them. But we had greeters back in the day, back at Southwest High. We had greeters. How about ushers? Any ushers in the place today? Ushers, you're the same deal. Helping people find a seat, helping them find a place, taking up the offering, cleaning between services. And we had ushers back in the day. We took an offering back in the day, but we didn't have buckets. We had purple velvet bags. Like here's one coming up on screen. Here's a purple velvet bag we had back in the day. Do we have a purple velvet bag? Oh, my assistant is telling me no, we don't have a purple velvet bag. Okay, that's gonna have to be for another time. Okay, all right, let's hear it. How about anybody from the cafe here? Cafe workers. Cafe people serving our coffee and donuts. I'm going to tell you something you may not know. From the very beginning of this church now, for more than 30 years, because we had some services before we actually became official. We became official 30 years ago this month, but we had some meetings before that. There's never been a weekend service here that has not had coffee and donuts from the very beginning. From the very beginning. I can't imagine how many donuts that has been. We have kept Dunkin' Donuts in business. But do you know, here's what you don't know. I have never eaten one donut, and I've never drank one cup of coffee. Not one. Yes, this is not because of my health nut, because I'm not. I don't like donuts, and they don't like me. Donuts actually make me a little nauseous. I don't know what it is, but so I don't do donuts. I do ice cream. And I don't like coffee, and it doesn't like me. So Diet Coke works real well. They have a little caffeine rush for me. But look, We had coffee and donuts for 30 years. I hate coffee and donuts. You're going, well, why did you keep having coffee and donuts? Because you know what? This place isn't about me. And it's not about you. It's about those who are not here yet. It's about reaching people with the life-changing message of Jesus Christ. That's what this place is about. And when we keep that as the vision, it is about me and it is about us. But when we make it all about me and make it all about us, we forget about all of them. And the mission of Jesus was to come and reach people with a life-changing message. That's our mission, right? Loving all people, loving all people. So I don't play to my likes. We design something that we think people are going to come and really, really, really appreciate. So cafe, how about bookstore? We got anybody bookstore people in the house tonight? She's got enough enthusiasm for all of us in the place tonight. Bookstore, amazing job. Back in the day, I said it was high. Everything was temporary, right? Everything had to be set up and torn down. We had to move into a high school auditorium, classrooms, break it down, move out every single Sunday. So the bookstore was one table with a tablecloth. When we moved in with a Rubbermaid crate of books, we set them all up on the table and never sold a one, but we set them up every week. And my messages were duplicated, right back in the day like they are now, on something that looked like this. Anybody know what this is? This is a cassette tape. Now, for all the young people in the house tonight, this is the original mixtape right here, baby. This is it. The original mixtape. There's a message on here from me back from 2000 something, and if you would ever have a device to listen to this, you can see my voice hadn't even changed yet. But anyway, so bookstore. We love bookstore people. How about people? Welcome Center. Any Welcome Center people in the house tonight? Welcome Center. We love you, Welcome Center. Welcome Center, you're a huge part of what we do. I want to be honest with you, back in the day, we were not smart enough to have one of those, so we never had one. We weren't smart enough. How about parking team and transportation team? Any parking team and transportation team? Okay? That team is going to grow. That team is going to grow a lot over the next 6 months. The team is going to grow a lot. We did not have a parking team and transportation team back in the day. How about a safety team? Any safety team people in the house tonight? Safety team. We love you, safety team, but again, we did not have a safety team back in the day. We didn't even know what a safety team was back in the day. How about kids team? Wow. I think it's safe to say the kids team is in the house. Where are y'all like over in this area? Like you're scattered over? Okay. Look. Okay. Let me talk to kids team for just a moment. I don't know if you guys realize this. We work all week long to create an experience in this room for adults. Message, videos, band, everything. But kids team, do you realize this? That if parents have kids, it doesn't matter what happens in this room. If their kids don't like what happens in kids' church, they ain't coming back. They are absolutely not coming back. The parents could come in this room and be blown away, but if they go home on the way home and said, "How do you like church?" They are not coming back. Kids' church, you are amazing. Back in the day, we had kids, lots of kids. We were all having kids. I did my part. We had 5. One of them is sitting there in the back tonight. My eldest son is in the building tonight. We had kids. We had lots of kids. All kids everywhere. So, but we didn't have any. So we rented classrooms. We realized high school classrooms, just crappy classrooms, with desks, and they were just Southwest High was just not very attractive. And so people would slide all the desks to one side, and we would roll out rolls of carpet for the kids so they could have something to play on. We'd have toys and these Rubbermaid trash cans that, with wheels on, and roll it all in and set everything up, and then roll all the carpet up and put it in a white truck and put all the desks back to where it was so the teachers wouldn't complain on Monday morning, because they complained constantly about how we're messing up their space constantly. And so, but why did we do that back in the day? It was a culture. It was a culture. What's the culture? Whatever it takes, wherever I'm needed. Say it with me. Whatever it takes, wherever I'm needed. People just did whatever it takes, wherever I'm needed. They didn't even, it's just like, okay, whatever it takes, wherever I'm needed. That was a culture. That's what they did. That's what we did. That's what we still do. Whatever it takes, wherever I'm needed. How about the youth? Any youth in the house tonight? Club 128. Youth, I can... Love it, love it. Come on. Love it. Love it. Youth, I can say the same things to you I said to the kids' church. It's not as critical as it is in youth as it is in kids, but I'm telling you, if parents have youth age kids and they go home and they don't like it, they're going to find a different place. You are critical to this place. Absolutely critical to this place. And I don't know if you probably don't know this, but just a little, we're telling some stories back in the day, culture. Back in the day, I was a school teacher, helping out the church, volunteer like you. I was the very first youth pastor our church ever had. I was a school teacher by day. We had 5 youth back in the day. Because all the families had little kids, except for 2 families had 2 families. One family had 3 youth, one family had 2 youth. So we had 5 youth back in the day. So once a month, I'd do something with them. We'd go bowling or do something. But listen, we did whatever it took, wherever I'm needed. Wherever it took, wherever I'm needed. How about any worship team in the house today? Worship team, that was good. Not quite as good as the youth and the kids, but that was good. Can I just say something? I have traveled to many, 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 many Vineyard churches. I've been in with them on the weekends. I've seen a lot. But can I tell you, on the weekend, it's like you're having a free concert every weekend. You guys are amazing, just amazing. 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 But you got it so easy. Back in the day, we had to set up and tear down, write everything. Now, you don't have it easy because you got 4 services. But back in the day, imagine a blank stage at Southwest High, a crappy stage at Southwest High. Every musician had to come in and set up their stuff. Every musician. Imagine the drummer having to set up the drums every week. Set up the drums every week, tear them down every week, take them home every week, setting up their amps, setting up their cables, running the cables, doing all this. Every single week for 14 years we did this. Because it was a culture. People just did what? Say it with me. Whatever it takes, wherever I'm needed. That's what everybody did. Whatever it takes, wherever I'm needed. And I would go up to the band, and I would, because I was there early with everybody early. I was there at 7 o'clock in the morning doing this whole thing with everybody. And I'd go up on stage and talk to the band. I'd talk to the drummer and give him, a fist bump. And I'd say, man, I'd say, thank you for what you do. And every single person would look at me and say the same thing. No, Pastor Kevin, thank you for letting me do it. I'm going, wow. That's amazing. No different from any of you. No different from anybody in this room tonight. I go up to you guys, I say, thank you for what you're doing. No, Pastor Kevin, thank you for giving me the opportunity. Because it's a culture, right? It's a culture. Say it with me. Whatever it takes, wherever I'm needed. That's what it is. It's a culture. Whatever it takes, wherever I'm needed. How about the sound team? Anybody in the sound team? Sound team here tonight. Sound team. Sound team. Sound team, very important because they can turn me off anytime they want. And
we are few but mighty.
Back in the sound team, think about it. We didn't have any sound. We just set it all up every week. Set up the speakers, set up the monitors, set up the snake, the cable that runs, set up the soundboard, do it all every week, and sound check, boom, make it happen, tear it all down, do it again next week. It was crazy. Well, it was a culture. It was a culture. Say with me, whatever it takes, wherever I'm needed. That's all it was. Same thing we do now, whatever it takes. Stage crew. Anybody here from the stage crew tonight? Stage crew? I heard, ooh. All right. Stage crew. We didn't have a stage crew back in the day. Production team. Anybody from the production team here tonight? Production team. Lights, camera, action. Lights, camera, action. My wife leads the production team. She tells me she has one job on the weekend to make me look good. I said, you got a big job, honey. You got a big job. Back in the day, we had production, but it wasn't permanent. Every week we got there, we had this big screen. We'd pop an aluminum frame and set up this big screen behind us on stage with a projector that shot from rear projection from the back. Every day we set it up. Guys would run a little cable down the aisle all the way down to in the back of the auditorium with a little laptop computer where they do everything. So two guys, Bob and Alonzo. These two guys were like inseparable. If one was on a trip, the other one was there. If one was sick, the other one was there. If they're both good, they were both there. I mean, year after year after year, because it was a dream. It was a culture. Say it with me. Whatever it takes, wherever I'm needed. That's all it was. That's all we did. The same thing we do today. How about translation team? Anybody in the translation team here tonight? I love the translation team. Y'all are translating into Spanish for Spanish speakers, and translating me is easy, but translating Denville, oh my God, that's like, wow. I heard Denville made a little fun of me last weekend, so anyway. But you know, we had a translation team back in the day. But listen, back in the day, we had a translation team. We didn't have one, we had two. We translated back in the day simultaneously Spanish and Portuguese simultaneously. We started with Spanish, right? Spanish was good. And one day somebody came up to me and said, can you do Portuguese translation? I said, we don't have that. She said, well, I'd like to volunteer. I said, okay. I said, I don't think we have any. I said, I'm not aware of any Portuguese speakers in our church. And she said, I have 30 of them that are waiting to come. I said, we'll start next week. And we did. We had this translators up on the balcony. We had Spanish on one side, whispering in Spanish. We had Portuguese on the other side, whispering in Portuguese, and we had two languages going on simultaneously on the weekend because it was a culture, right? It was, say with me, whatever it takes, wherever I'm needed. That's what it is. That's all it is. Whatever it takes, wherever I'm needed. How about the communications team? Nick and the communications team. We got people taking pictures. We got people shooting videos. Back in the day, all we had was Nick. And office team. Anybody from the office team? Office team. I love the office team because they're just like, they're not in the public eye at all. They come and they volunteer their time. They fold the programs on the weekend. They stuff the programs on the weekend. They don't. Nobody ever sees them. Nobody even. But I'm telling you, you are famous in the eyes of God. You are changing lives. How about the pens and envelope team? Anybody here do pens and envelopes? Huge team. Again, you are changing lives every weekend. You're changing lives every weekend. The same thing. Nobody sees you, but you are making it happen every weekend. Whatever it takes. How about anybody from the counting team? Yeah. Where would we be without the counting team? We'd have major issues. How about the facilities team? Anybody from the facilities team? Come on. Facility team. Back in the day, we had 30 people on our facilities team because we had to set up Southwest High School for a service. I would personally go around at 6 o'clock in the morning on Sunday mornings and fill my car with 6 high school boys, juniors and seniors in high school, 6 of them. I'd bring in my 6, somebody else bring in another carload. And these guys, week after week after week, we'd get to Southwest High at 7 o'clock. We'd set up everything there was to set up. Service would end. They'd break it all down, pack it in a white truck. And nobody got paid. They didn't even get a T-shirt. They just were in. They were just simply in. Because what's the culture? Whatever it takes, wherever I'm needed. It was one of the saddest days of my life when we moved into our other facility before this one, Deerwood. How many of you were at Deerwood? How many of you were at Deerwood? One of the saddest days of my life was when we moved into Deerwood because it was the first time in our life we weren't portable, right? Deerwood was permanent. We rented it, but it was permanent. And so these 30 people still kept showing up on Sunday looking for something to do. And I didn't have anything for them to do because everything was set up. I got to keep 2 or 3 of them, but it was the saddest day when they just kind of just filtered away because I could not come up with something for them to do. It's a sad day when you got a heart that's willing to serve and not a position for them to serve in. That was my fault back in the day, but I'm telling you what, you give me that day over again and things are going to change because I'm going to find something for them to do. And we're going to keep all 30 of them engaged in the process. How about the outreach team? How about the outreach team? We love the outreach team. We want to be the best friend this city ever had. And the outreach team helps us do that. We had an outreach team back in the day from the very beginning. How about life groups and spiritual formation team here tonight? You may not know this, life groups, we love what you do. You turn a crowd into a family. That's what you do. And you help this family grow. That's what you do. You turn a crowd into a family, you help the family grow. You may not know this, but this church did not begin with a Sunday meeting. This church began with a life group, and a life group, and a life group. And when we had 4 life groups, and then we started meeting together corporately on a Sunday. So this church began with life groups. How about the care team? We got a care team in the house tonight. We got a care team. It's a brand new team. A team of people who are giving of themselves and giving of their time to help with Celebrate Recovery, divorce care, grief share, helping people work through issues in their life. I love the care team. And how about Echo? Any Echo people in the house tonight? Did they leave? Or did they come? The young adults are in the house. Back in the day, our whole church was Echo. I became senior pastor at 29. We were all Echo. I went to staff at 27. I was senior pastor at 29. I didn't know what I was doing. But God did. I'm not saying that you don't know what you're doing at 29. I'm saying I didn't know what I was doing at 29 being a pastor. Shout out to Echo. Echo's been volunteer-led for 5-6 years now. Just all volunteer leaders, making it happen every other Tuesday night, filling our hallway here with tunes and DJing on the weekend and choosing to participate and learn from 35-year-olds like me. So, at the risk of my embarrassment, I tried to get every team. Did I miss the prayer team? I have the prayer team. I just forgot to. Let's hear for the prayer team. It's right here. Now, I got hospitality with, I just listed every individual team in hospitality, right? They're the leaders. Who cares? I just want to say to prayer team, we've had prayer team back in the day. We had prayer team from the beginning, no different from now. But you have to understand that you are breathing life and hope and supernatural power of God into people's lives. So never forget that, what you do. You're making a huge difference to people. Anybody else? Pastor O'Cara, got that? Mission, is that a team? Mission team? I know there's people that went on missions trips, so we love you. Yeah, hey. Whatever it takes, wherever I'm needed.
Team Vineyard!
Dude, that's my next line. It says, Team Vineyard, give yourselves a round of applause. Come on, Team Vineyard. Quit taking my notes. You have inside your folder a piece of paper you may want to grab for just a moment. I'm not going to give you a whole 30-minute message right now. I'm going to give you 5 minutes because I just gave you a 30-minute message. Whatever it takes, wherever I'm needed. Whatever it takes, wherever I'm needed. If you didn't fill that in, that's the top line in the first page there in your outlines there inside that folder. Oh, but before we go there, I just have to show you I just have to show you one picture of the younger version of Pastor Kevin back in the day at Southwest High. So look up here on screen. Here's the younger version of Pastor Kevin back at Southwest High. You don't have that either. You texted it to me. Oh, here she comes out the door. This won't be good. They won't talk to each other? Oh, there's no internet right now. All right. I am going to text all of you right now. No, I'm just playing. All right. One day, it'll be on the Miami Vineyard Facebook page. Because we will do whatever it takes wherever I'm needed. How about that? Jesus said these words. Look at this next verse. Jesus said, for the Son of Man, he's talking about himself. He's referring to himself. Mark chapter 10, verse 45. The Son of Man came not to be served, but to serve, and to give his life away as a ransom for many. You know how you can summarize that verse? Whatever it takes, wherever I'm needed. That's what Jesus did. Whatever it takes, wherever I'm needed. That's what Jesus did. Whatever it takes, wherever I'm needed. Now, he made the ultimate sacrifice. He gave his life. We give our time. We give our sweat. We give our energy. We give our talents. We give our money. Jesus gave his life. Whatever it takes, wherever I'm needed. Whatever it takes, wherever I'm needed. Whatever it takes, wherever I'm needed. And can I just tell you? I just want to tell a little story about myself and how we can get it mixed up. We can get this mixed up. Whatever it takes, wherever I'm needed. I want to be. I don't want to just wear this on my back. I want to be that. Whatever it takes. So do you. We want to be that. Whatever it takes, wherever I'm needed. That's culture. It's who we are. Whatever it takes, wherever I'm needed. But, from time to time, sometimes you don't always, it's easy to believe something until you got to do what you believe. right? I believed this. I quoted this until one day. And there's always comes a day when what we believe is put to the test. It's easy to believe something until you have to do it. Some of you know that in addition to pastoring this church, I also have a volunteer role with the Vineyard USA that I serve as volunteer, no money for this. I serve as a volunteer. I oversee the Vineyard churches in Florida and Puerto Rico, so I oversee 30 churches, which means that I regularly call them and talk to them and find out how they're doing, issues, problems, help them navigate through their world. But before I did this role, I had a larger role. I served over 90 churches in the Vineyard, over 7 states in the Southeast. I oversaw 90 churches, and that position also came with a seat at the table of the national board. So I was part of the national board of the Vineyard movement, just a handful of couples. I oversaw 90 Vineyard churches. I did this for 5 years. And truthfully, I gave it my heart, my soul, my life. I took a region that was pretty dysfunctional. They didn't like each other. They weren't talking to each other. Families can get like this from time to time, right? And I brought them together relationally, and I mean, it was, after 5 years, that region had really turned around and really became something that we could be proud of. But after 5 years, thank you. After 5 years, the Vineyard did a realignment, which meant that, come on, man, how can how can you pastor a local church and oversee 90 churches? That's insane. And they all figured out that's insane because there was 8 of us all doing that, and it was just nuts. So they did a realignment, meaning they divided up into more regions, and now there's 16 regions. And so the people that were regional leaders and on the board, there were 8 of us. 7 of them were invited to stay on the board and got greater position and greater title. One of them was not. I bet you can't guess who that one was. That was me. I couldn't figure it out. I busted my butt. I took a region that was dysfunctional and turned it around, and it was, and you're doing a realignment, and you invite everybody else up to serve in a different capacity, and then you take 90 churches away from me, churches I loved and cared about and deeply invested into, and now you take 60 of them away from me, and you give me 30 to oversee. You talk about a demotion. Everything in me said it was a demotion. And I said to myself all the time, I am willing to do whatever it takes wherever I'm needed. Till that day. See, it's easy to believe something until you got to put that belief into action. Talk is cheap until you got to do it. So the national director, Phil Stroud, called me up. I remember I was sitting in the airport. I remember taking his call on my cell phone. He said, Kevin, let me explain to you what's happening. He explained to me what I just explained to you. He said, would you be willing to serve over Florida and Puerto Rico and oversee 30 churches? And I said, absolutely not. Just like that. I said, no, I will not. I served you well. I served this movement well. How dare you demote me down? I said it just like that. You're going, Pastor Kevin, I didn't know you had that in you. I was pissed. I was mad. I was angry. And I was not doing this. I was not doing whatever it takes wherever I'm needed. I was not doing what we just read when Jesus said, I've come to not to be served, but to serve and to give my life away. I was not doing that. And I knew it. I knew in my heart. I knew I couldn't say no, but I said no anyway. And Phil, he's such a great guy. Our national director, Phil Stroud, some of you met him here on the weekend. He's such a great guy. When I told him no, he said, I'll call you back in 2 weeks when you get your head straight. And I know. And he called me back in 2 weeks. And I said yes. Because I wanted to be a person who just didn't wear a t-shirt with something on it, but I wanted to be a person who said, I am willing to do whatever it takes wherever I'm needed. That it is not about a position. It is not about a title. It is not about a badge. It is not about anything. It is about serving the Lord Jesus Christ. That's what it's about. For you, for me, for us, for all of us. But can I tell you, sometimes I'm just sharing my heart with you and sharing my journey with you, because just honestly, sometimes it's easy to get that mixed up. Because when we've been doing something for some time, it's easy to get it mixed up. Like somebody comes and asks you to serve in another capacity, and you're going, no, I'm not doing that. I've done this well. Don't you see? I've done it well. I know what you're going through, because I've been there. But would you be willing to do this? Because we have a critical issue right here, and we'd love to have you serve in this issue right here. Whatever it takes, wherever I'm needed. Are we going to do that, or are we going to hold to our spot? This is my spot. This is my seat. I sit here every weekend when I come. I know where most of y'all sit, because you sit in the same spot every time you come. Like with so-and-so here today? No, they were not sitting where they normally do, right over here. And let's just be honest, right? I'm just being honest. I'm sharing my story, your story. We can sometimes, if we're not careful, we can sometimes get like this. And it's easy to get like this. You don't think about it. It just comes on us like we're human beings, and it just comes on us. And so I want us to do whatever it takes, wherever I'm needed. So sometimes we serve in capacity for so long, and maybe the leaders of this church are going to ask you to change your meeting night because it works best in the overall scope of this church. And you're going, I've been meeting on Tuesday nights for 5 years. Tuesday nights is happening. How dare you come to me and ask me to move off Tuesday nights? Whatever it takes, wherever I'm needed. You want me to give up my space in my room? But Pastor Kevin, we've been meeting in this space, in this room, for 5 years. Yeah. Whatever it takes, wherever I'm needed. You want me to serve in another role? I don't even know anything about that role. You want me to no longer do what I thought I was doing so well, and now you want me to do something else, not nearly as visible, not without recognition? Whatever it takes, wherever I'm needed. John Wimber, the late founder of the Vineyard, said this. John Wimber died before Twitter came about, but if Twitter, he was the most tweetable guy I've ever met. He had these one-liners that were just so tweetable, that just captured it. He said this. He said, this is us. This is all we are. He said, we are coins, all that we are. We are coins in God's pocket, and he can spend us any way he wishes. That's all we are. If he wants, the coin doesn't tell the person how to spend me. I don't want to be spent on bubble gum. I want to be spent on Joe Stone Crab. You're a coin. We're just a coin in God's pocket. He can spend us any way he wishes. And when we get that from here to here, our life changes. Whatever it takes, wherever I'm needed. Whatever it takes, wherever I'm needed. Whatever it takes, wherever I'm needed. So what does all this mean for you and me? Jump down to the bottom of that sheet. Here we go. I'm going to fill some blanks in, and we're going to be. Do we got something exciting tonight? I can't wait to tell you about. Don't. No. Can't let it out. All right. What does all this mean for you and me? Look at number one. God is always inviting us into another level of giving ourselves for the mission, right? He's always inviting us into another level, always. We think we're here, but God wants to bring us to another level, a deeper level, another level, a deeper level, another level, a deeper level, another level, a deeper level. I was having lunch with somebody this week. We were talking about our lives together. In fact, his name is Pastor Josh, who's sitting right here. I like to bring him with me when I'm about town because he's my bouncer. And we were talking, we were sharing our lives together. And we just talking about our lives and our families and our journeys and our spirituality. And we said this together. We said, this is when it starts really getting good. When we surrender our entire life to the Lordship of Jesus Christ, that's when life becomes full. And that's when life becomes rich. When every area of our life is surrendered to the Lordship of Jesus Christ. You want your marriage to be sweeter? Surrender to the Lordship of Jesus Christ. You want your family to be better? Surrender to the Lordship of Jesus Christ. You want to find the person to spend the rest of your life with? Surrender your life to the Lord Jesus Christ. That's when life becomes rich, and that's when life becomes full. That's the kind of stuff your youth pastor and I talk about when we go out for lunch, besides the Miami Hurricanes. So God is always on a mission, always on a mission, always on a mission. And so here's what this means for us. Okay, so let's say this again together out loud. Ready? Here we go. Whatever it takes, wherever I'm needed. Say it again. Whatever it takes, wherever I'm needed. So here's what this means for you and me, and this is going to get us ready for tomorrow, right? Because tomorrow morning we're going to come back, and it's going to be just another incredible time tomorrow morning. We're going to be back here together up till noon, and there's breakfast in the morning, and right? Is breakfast in the morning? Yes. Is there lunch too? Yes. You breakfast and lunch tomorrow. Hello. All right. So here you go. Fill in those last 3 blanks. Here's what this means for you. Here's what this means. Here's what this means. Here we go. You filled all 3. The last 3 blanks on your outline, page 1. Last 3 blanks on page 1. Here we go. Be ready. Be available. Be willing. Be ready. Be available. Be willing. And then I want you to circle those first 3 letters going down. R-A-W. Raw. Because listen, all we are, what? We are raw materials in the hands of God, and He can do whatever He wants to with us. We are raw materials in the hands of God, and He can do whatever He wants to with us. The Bible says in one spot, does the clay pot tell the potter what to make? No, the clay is just the clay. We are raw materials in the hands of God, and He can do whatever He wants to with us. We are going to be ready, we are going to be available, and we are going to be willing. And so, tonight, I'm so excited. So, Pastor, somebody help me out. What time do we start tomorrow morning?
9:30. Worship starts at 9:30.
Okay. Let me say that for everybody. You got a schedule in there too, but just 9 to 9:30 is breakfast. If you want breakfast, 9 to 9:30. Worship begins promptly at 9:30 in this room tomorrow morning. By that time, we start tomorrow morning. So just want to let you know about tomorrow, right? So tomorrow's going to be more. You're going to explore this, what this means to be raw, what this means to be ready, available, willing. But here tonight. Whatever it takes, wherever I'm needed. Whatever it takes, wherever I'm needed. Whatever it takes, wherever I'm needed. Let's say that again. Whatever it takes, wherever I'm needed. All right. Let me invite you into something. That whatever it takes, wherever I'm needed. Every church has 3 pinch points that can stop a church from growing. This is true. If you don't have enough space in one of these 3 places, your church won't grow. You need to have enough seats for adults. We got enough. You need to have enough space for kids. We got enough. You need to have enough parking spaces. We don't have enough. We're working on it. We are. It's a pinch point for us. It's a pinch point for us. With the ramp coming in, it squeezes the pinch point even more. So here is what we are going to do. Maybe one day, but before that happens, and it only takes $5 million for a parking garage. I love that. Beginning this weekend, you are all going to Uber to church from now on every weekend. I'm just playing, but that's not a bad idea. Okay, here's what we're going to do. I'm so excited about this. Here's what we're going to do. We are going to surrender, and we're going to give up our parking spots for the sake of those who need them. So here's what this means, okay? It's not, okay, I'm not asking you to park at Miami Airport, okay? This is not what I'm talking about, okay? I'm not asking you to park at Miami Airport. Maybe I will one day, but that's not today. That's not today. Whatever it takes, wherever I'm needed. So I want you to park at Tamiami and jog here every weekend from now on. Whatever it takes, wherever I'm needed. Here's what I'm asking, inviting. I'm inviting Team Vineyard from this day forward. Okay? From this day forward. Here's what I'm inviting us to do. That whether you serve on a weekend or not, because you're all part of Team Vineyard, whether you serve on that weekend or not. Whether you serve on the weekend or not. Whether you're running late or not. That we, from this point moving forward, we are not going to be parking in the west parking lot anymore on the weekend, just on the weekend. You can park there Wednesday night, park there Tuesday night, park there Monday night, park there any night you want, but not Saturday and not weekend services. We are no longer going to park in the west parking lot, but we are parking anywhere else, just not that lot. You can park on this side. By the way, have you discovered this side? Have you discovered this side? This side is actually closer than that side. If you drive, like you got to drive like all the way down around there and around, but if you make that drive, this side is actually closer than this side. And you can park across the street. You can park there. You can park anywhere there. Anywhere there. Anywhere there. You just can't park there. We are going to give up. We are going to do whatever it takes, wherever I can, for the sake of those who are not here yet. Because Jesus Christ came not to be served, but to serve and to give his life away as a ransom for many. So, starting this weekend, where are we going to park? There or there? Where are we not going to park? So, anywhere across the street, anywhere here. But here's what I'm so excited about tonight. Okay, here's what we're going to do. We're all going to do something right now together. It's going to be so much fun. Here's what we're going to do. Some of you were around many of you were around when we came into this place for the first time, right? And were any of you here when we did writing on the walls, that below you on this carpet, if we would rip up the carpet, there'd be hundreds and thousands of names written on this carpet under you and on this wall behind you, and then we put carpet down and stuff. We did this here, we did this at Deerwood. So tonight, in just a moment, we're going to all head out to that parking lot right there in the west parking lot. Okay? We're going to first of all, we're going to move our cars to the new locations over there and over there. Step one, we're going to move our cars out of the west lot over there and over there. And then on those stalls, we have 250 pieces of sidewalk chalk. And we are going to write on those. We're not going to do writing on the walls. We're going to do writing on the stalls, the parking stalls. And we're going to write the names of your friends and your family and your coworkers and Bible verses and anything you want to do that comes to your mind. There's a speaker set up there. There's music going to be up there. And then after the writing on the walls, it'll take 5-10 writing on the stalls, 5-10 minutes with sidewalk chalk. And I pray to God it's not going to rain this weekend because I hope those stalls are full. I hope everybody comes this weekend and writing, like, who went out here and graffitied all of this stuff on these stalls? I hope they all see it this weekend. We'll talk about it this weekend. After that, there's going to be a build your own ice cream sundae outside there in that courtyard. So, here's what we're going to do. Here's what we're going to have. I want you to grab a piece of sidewalk chalk. And I want you to think about people you know at your workplace, your family, your neighbors, people that you know need Jesus. They haven't yet discovered a relationship with Jesus. I want you just to write their names. You don't even have to write first and last, just write first names. If a Bible verse comes to your mind, just write what comes to your mind. You want to write a prayer. Just take a piece of sidewalk chalk and any of those spots out there. So here's what we're going to do, just so we're clear. Right now. So this we're pretty much we're done with the part of the meeting that happens here. Now we're going to move the meeting out there. So here's what we're going to do. So just so we're clear, beginning from this point forward, whether it's raining or not, whether it's 95 degrees or 45 degrees, whether you're running late or not, if you are part of Team Vineyard, you're going to park over there or over there. We are giving up these spots for all the people that are coming to this church that are not on Team Vineyard, because we are going to do whatever it takes wherever I'm needed. But tonight, we're going to celebrate that. And so, in just a moment, I'm going to let you go. Take your notebooks with you. You can take your notebooks with you. You want to go to your cars. You want to move them over to these spots, and then come back to the parking lot, and we're going to do writing on the stalls. Now, if you have kids, move your cars first, then get your kids, and bring your kids with you and have them write with you out there in the parking lot. Traffic where? Oh, out there? I'm coming out there right now. All right, let's go. Let's do it, everybody. Yeah.